Hello and welcome. I'm actually streaming today on a Tuesday. For the longest time here, I've been doing only Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But I decided I'd give Tuesday a stream, see how I enjoyed it. I may just start streaming every day, trying to put other videos up when I can on the educational front. So, may make this more of a common thing because streaming seems to be a lot easier than making videos. So that'll relax me quite a bit on making those. Meaning that I don't have to stress as much, which would make it a lot easier on me. Especially since it's been a month now since I was released from the hospital with the triple bypass. So some strawberry flavored water. Kind of looks orange in this light. Oh well. It is strawberry flavored though. What do I want to do today? We're going to talk about a few different things. So, first of all, do do do. I'm kind of disappointed with well, Facebook because I used to have a news section you could just go into and look at to understand the news of the day, but it is what it is. So since that's no longer the case, let's use Google. Do, 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 do. Google searches should be regulated. I thought Republicans were against regulation of the private sector. Oh, that's right. He isn't a real Republican. He's a populist liar. He just says what he wants to say because he'll get some approval from it. He has no intention of actually following these principles. It's only when they're good for him. And I'll be honest with you, right wing news and left wing news are usually fake. C SPAN is a good choice. The Guardian, let's see, BBC. What else is there? Usually your foreign sources are a little more trustworthy. In the US, C SPAN. C SPAN is good. If you're going to go foreign, I recommend BBC, Guardian, um, Canadian Broadcast Corporation, CBC. What else? Those are some of them I would recommend, though. Al Jazeera. I thought Al Jazeera America was wonderful. It didn't get political at all. But because it was so centrist, it seemed to be watched by neither side. What we need is a new fairness doctrine because Reagan's FCC took it to court and dismantled the thing, no longer requiring news organizations to be truthful. So you can thank Ronald Reagan's FCC for that. They brought about, you notice after Reagan's administration disappeared, Fox News kind of came onto the scene. Because at that point, they had killed most of the strength of the American fairness doctrine, which kind of held news organizations to a certain standard. What we need is a new fairness doctrine, forcing them to work to a certain level of standard. Because before the fairness doctrine, which was enacted in 49, I'm wanting to say, when was the fairness doctrine? U.S. fairness. Not fairness. Fairness doctrine. There we go. Yeah, introduced in 1949 by the FCC. So 49 would be Truman. Yeah, it'd be Harry S. Truman. So shortly after World War II. Ended in 45. Harry S. Truman held the Fairness Doctrine, which was created by the FCC. Requiring a level of truth and honesty. For example, one of the biggest issues of that time was the re-election of Harry S. Truman. He held up newspapers that showed Dewey defeats Truman, even though Truman won. So honesty and research. And before World War II, we had what was the age of yellow journalism with Pulitzer and Randolph. But anyway, my stream's getting froze here. So let's close that. See if that helps any. But yeah, Reagan's FCC started taking it to court and peeling it apart piece by piece. And so, yeah, it was a bad situation. And it allowed the birth of fake news. Well, not the birth, but the rebirth, I should say. Because as I said, in the early 1900s, we had an issue with yellow journalism. And so Truman set in the Fairness Doctrine, which came in pretty handy. Like I said, I feel we need another. Oh, that's the wrapper of the bottle. Sorry, I was hearing something my foot was rubbing over and I couldn't see it. It's the wrapper of the bottle here for my strawberry flavored water. Had stuck to my foot, so that's what the noise was. Sorry about that. I had to get that off the bottom of my foot. Straighten out my shirt, which I enjoy my shirt, my little Harley Quinn dual universe, which I think this is the current Harley Quinn. That was the one right before. Of course, they don't have classic Harley on here. From Batman the Animated Series through most of her early career. I was trying to find a better word, but her early career. Early appearances, we'll say. Because she was originally known in the Harlequin suit. But, yeah. Anyway, the Fairness Doctrine. I kind of point to the whole issue of fake news as a fault of Reagan's FCC. Let's see. But we kind of got on that topic because of Trump whining, because of course he saw it on Fox, that, oh, they're attacking conservative news. Hey, idiot. YouTube, attacks liberal news programs too. So it's not just conservatives, jackass, you moron. That pompous dingbat. Breathe. Just because he's stupid and the rest of the world voted for him doesn't mean you have to lower yourself to their level. Christian leaders. He warned Christian leaders of violence at the GOP. Wow. So now he's inciting violence. See? And then so many people are like, he's a good guy. No, he's not. He's an idiot. And he's a monster. Yeah, but he's angry at Google just because there isn't positive news about him. What I find is your right-wing sources are often liars. That's why there isn't positive news about you, because your positive news is often lies or ass kissing. Moron. Brexit may defend sensible plans for future EU relations. Do, do. Let's look at science news. EPA secret science rule. The proposed rule strengthening transparency in regulatory science would generally limit EPA to using studies for which the underlying let's take a closer look at that here. It's taking it a moment to pull it up. That are publicly available in a manner sufficient for independent validation. Add the U.S. Department of Defense to the ranks of those expressing concern about the EPA's plans to restrict the use of scientific research in writing new regulations. So the EPA essentially wants something that can have fake science, fake news to contradict true science. This is the problem. I don't believe in science because I'm dumb. Bye. Stupidity. I mean, honestly, I try not to be political on this, but if you don't believe in science, you're a moron. Quite frankly, you're a fucktard. I know you doesn't like that kind of language. A lot of people don't like that kind of language, but I find it valid here because they are fucktards. So, science exists. Science is verified. Science is factual. If you don't like it too damn bad, the only thing that's not verified is your damn religion that you try to push on others. So, you need to back off and shut up and sit down. Anyway, see what else is out there. National Institutes of Health investigating whether U.S. scientists are sharing ideas with foreign governments. Science magazine. Jenner's approach to replication confirms many high-profile social science. It's hard to tell. As algae blooms increase, scientists seek better ways to predict them. Hmm. And they have a piece on George Garrow. So, science blog. That was covered in the last 13 hours. Let's look at history. Oh, history news. Viggo Mortensen urges Americans to look to history to understand. ... Uh, the 55th anniversary of the March on Washington, the actor explains to CBS News why he believes the voices of people in American history. ... Greatest international players in NBA history, UFC. Yeah. A look at the history and future of parking. And history making history. Most of these have nothing to do with actual history. Let's look science back up and see what else there is. Section 2. Mysterious new brain cell found in people. Scientists spotted the neurons in slices of human brain tissue as part of a larger effort to inventory human brain cells. Huh. So they found a new kind of brain cell. That's interesting. After years of effort, physicists spot the Higgs boson decaying into various combinations of particles. Hmm. The universe before our own. So that's interesting. Ghost black holes could be proof of of a universe before our own. That's not solar system, it's not galaxy, universe. That's interesting. Uh, Scientists alter membrane proteins to make them easier to study. Air pollution could be making us less intelligent. So not only can it have heart and lung issues, it could be causing you to be stupid. Not so much in that language, but which that's interesting. Anyway, seems to be today's stories going on. I've seen a lot of people trying to compare McCain to Osama bin Laden, speak on his war hawkishness to try to attack people who want us, at least give him credit for being patriotic and sacrificing a lot for his country. Yes, he did things and said things that I don't always agree with. But he was a patriot, and he needs to be treated as a patriot. And I'm seeing progressives that will go after Elizabeth Warren just because of a couple of things she said or done that they don't agree with. You know, she held out, was the very last woman to promote Hillary. She ended up claiming she was Cherokee. There's no proof she isn't. There's no proof she is. I'm from an area where a lot of people claim Cherokee heritage just because it's often confusing. But there's a chance a lot of people could be because in the area you have a lot of mixed nationalities. So some people need to shut up and some people need to shut up and quit hating on people because of a few things. You look at them in sum total. Elizabeth Warren, for instance, I still consider her a progressive and somebody that fights for the people because financially, she still fights for the little man, for the little person, the average person, wanted the CFPB, and she still wants to try to help people in general. She's not a big taker of big money contributions. So, guess what? I'm not going to attack her for a few things she said. And like McCain, in general, his life, he could have walked out of Vietnam from the prison camp because he was, I think it was an admiral's son. But you know what? He stayed there for years and continued to be tortured when he could have just walked away. And he said, no, not until everyone else goes. When he was in Congress, not everything I agree with him on was a good thing he said or did. But he passed McCain-Feingold in an attempt to fix, you know, campaign spending. He tried to help fix medical care for Americans. He wasn't solely voting on Republican lines just because he was Republican. Sometimes he voted on the other side if he didn't feel the idea was right, because there was still humanity and he still wanted to do what was best for his country. Now, if you can't accept that, I'm sorry. You deserve neither heroes, let alone someone to look up to. Because Gandhi, he felt that women weren't up to the same level as men and shouldn't be treated as such. They should be treated as lesser beings. John Lennon had some questionable practices that it was found out later in life. I can't name them right offhand, but it was like, I believe it was sexist attitudes as well. Um, let's see. Even Jesus, for crying out loud, he has made his mistakes. It's only when they have a commonly regular issue of malfeasance, like Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump do, then by all means, hate them, don't like them. Because I'll be honest with you, neither one was good. It's why it was the worst election there's ever been. Bernie Sanders has made mistakes. So for you pompous people who want to attack someone, especially McCain, for crying out loud, the man just died. Can't you show some common human decency? But no, you can't let it go. It's actions like that that disappoint me greatly. Regardless, educate thyself, read, study, learn. It's always a great thing when you seek to better yourself. Educate that mind. And if you see information, always look for other sources. A lot of people will just say, look at this one source, or look at these two sources. They say it. But that's one source, or just two. It's not a majority. And that's why, some people will try to make claims and they'll just throw these Wikipedia articles at me. Wikipedia is fine, but it is not or should ever be your full source of information or primary source if you can help it at all. So educate thyself, look for more information. It's always a great thing. But yeah, and again, as always, I do want to say don't feel that you're alone out there. There's always someone that cares about you, and I do care about you. Even if I view some of your ideas as less than intelligent, that just irritates me sometimes. But I do love you all, and I will try to have a regular video up tomorrow, and I'll probably still stream as well. So later.